pt.2 Music Club. What up, Music Club? Shabbat Shalom. Peace and blessings. How you doing tonight? Doing all right on this Sabbath evening? I hope so. Did you have a good week this week? You thinking about that? Sharing stories with your family, your loved ones? Telling them all the joy, sharing them so they can share in your joy with you and be happy for you and cheer you on and make you feel good. Sharing that joy with your children, nephews, nieces, cousins, just because it's the righteous thing that come from your heart. Yeah, see? That's the strength of Yahweh right there. Word. So earlier, we was on here and the Spirit guided us to talk about tithing. And so we did. However, the Spirit got some more to say. So, we're going to continue on talking about tithing. But we're not talking about it from the purely scriptural standpoint now because we had already talked about that. And where we ended that was basically, well, let me try to sum that up. Basically, checking out the perspective that you should be careful to where you spend your tithes and how you spend your tithes. Now, we're going to continue on from that thought there. So this is for the righteous community. So, let's say you ain't got no building that produces the authentic spirit of Yahweh. Teaches scripture. Alright? So, you decide the spirit ain't here, so I'm not sharing my blessing that comes from Yahweh that he gave me, my tithe, and whatever I want to put on it. And when I say that, I mean you starting at 10%, but you can go up, never take away anything from Yahweh. You do what you want, right? So you say, instead of me surrendering my money to the devil's den, you pray over your money, Father, let your will be done, and show me where to put your money. It might come in the form of helping your child with something, or a friend, or a relative that's nice to you, somebody who exudes the spirit of Yah that he has allowed you to experience, to gain that love from. Rather it be somebody who shows you kindness for no reason, or, just a generally good person that you happen to cross their path that week, and you got your tithes, and you say, Father, let your will be done, right? And that person can use a couple dollars, because they're going through something or whatever. You just happen to know something, you can just give it to them. Like, here you go. Be blessed, right? You ain't got to tell them nothing. You gotta tell them I love you. You know what I mean? And let it ride. It can even be a stranger, right? Because that's your right to use your blessing in Yahweh's way, like he tells you in Scripture to do, right? And you do it in the spirit of him. So you do it in the spirit of love. So where you put your tithes is where you choose to put your tithes. Now, for the believing community, just imagine if you spent your money like that in your neighborhoods. Like, let's say you got these stores, shops, gas stations, whatever, in your neighborhood, but they don't respect you. They allow anybody to hang outside and conduct all type of stuff that you wouldn't want your children to go and be alone themselves around, but they want your money. You ain't got to spend your money there. You can go and find some place that sell the same type of products, or even the same products, where they treat you with respect and dignity. And if you're feeling soft-hearted, give them a warning. Hey, you know what? Like today, for me, I went into a particular establishment, and before I entered it, I seen a game of three-card Monte being played, and had the attention of a few young ladies. So I went into the store, made my purchase. But when I made my purchase, I asked the teller, "Are you an honest man?" He said, "Yes, he is." I said, "Okay, is this an honest establishment that you work for?" He said, "I don't know. I just started working here." So he's trying to verbally wiggle out of it, right? So I told him, I say, "So you as an honest man, and you seem to be fairly intelligent enough to hold this conversation. You told me you're an honest man, and you mean to tell me that you can't vouch for the honesty of the establishments that you choose to align yourself with and work for?" He said, "Well, I don't really know all the management, but yeah, okay, I'll say it's an honest place." I said, "Okay, so," because I started the conversation, told him I had two questions and a complaint. At this point, I told him, those are my two questions, and here's my complaint. As a customer, I want to come into a place that does honest business. You say you're an honest man, and this is an honest establishment. If that's the case, how can you honestly stand here and be okay with people being fleeced outside of your store?" He said, "I don't want to cause problems." I told him, "You don't have to hide problems, but the only thing you need to do is be strong enough to be an honest man and say, go out there very politely, 'Excuse me, sirs. I appreciate your game, your hustle, whatever, but I would appreciate it if you take that away from here, please. We're trying to conduct honest business.' And if they're static behind that, then the demons don't want to accept your offer peacefully, and you feel like you just want to slide out of there quietly, then quietly do so. Okay, sirs, I don't want any problems. I was merely asking you. My next move is to alert the authorities and ask them to ask you to move. Have a nice day. And go back to work." All right? So now, you stood up for your integrity, your honesty, and I told him this. And now I can believe that you're an honest man. And you made your establishment look honest. Well, of course, he didn't, this demons wanted to defend himself, so he started running off at the mouth. "Yeah, I'll try to talk to somebody with the manager's not here now. Maybe when you come in." I said, "Bro, listen, man, that was just for you. It looked like a conversation, but that was just you. Have a nice day." And I went on about my business. So, imagine if the community of believers say, "I'm going to spend my money with people that I know that do honest business." All right? And everybody start telling everybody, this is what we doing. So these stores that have rude clerks, demoralizing signs up in their windows, talking about people of your community, talking about other human beings, got nasty attitudes, overpricing you. You can warn them. Hey, you know what? I have a question and a complaint. Maybe a few questions and a complaint. Maybe a few complaints. Now, I presented that to you. How will you respond? You know? So then, those that wish to be honest will get your honest dollars, and those that don't will find you and your crew shopping elsewhere. Or maybe some of y'all get together In the name of Yahshua, which is the truth, which is the word of Yahweh, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded from the mouth of Yahweh, which is Yahshua, that leads you back to Yahweh. You're honest with each other, and you say, hey group, hey crew, we need our own place. So why don't we take our honest tithe money and pool it together, and we pull ourselves together under the spirit of Yahweh and do it his way? I'm just saying. Because I feel like this. If I were of a different dimensional mind to give my dollars to a place that says they serve my Father, I know that my Father loves humans. If he didn't, he would have simply eradicated them. So, I know that if his loot is working and being pooled in this particular house, everything around that house is beautiful. And the beauty don't stop spreading out. The streets ain't all cracked up. Ain't no dilapidated buildings around this neighborhood. See, because we take our tithe money and we actually give it back to the people who put their money into it. And we do it in a way that benefits everybody. This is how tithing can grow righteous independency economically. It can be applied personally or as a community. And when you do it that way, it don't matter what your race is. It matters what your heart say and what you choose to do. Those that are with it are embraced and loved because it's all about love. Those that are not simply don't exist. Access denied. Until you can clean your heart, you have no place here in the house of Yahweh. Yahweh cannot abide evil. You can keep your unrest out there. Because these gates up in here, baby, we be partying and rocking and loving and cooling and chilling. Ain't no drama up in here. No negativity here. Evil cannot live here. Evil? What's that? My children won't even know that word. I don't know what you talking about, suckers. You gonna die off. We gonna live forever. Anywho, we love you at the FD3 Music Club, and we hope that you have something to think about. Personally, collectively, small group, big group, as long as it's righteous. You know what I mean? Love against love just gonna run into more love. That can only lead to collective prosperity. A house divided against itself can't stand. This ain't about politics. Don't feed politics. Feed yourself. Feed each other. That way, you'll never go hungry. You can have your own farms. Collectively. Get your own trucking lanes. Collectively. Everybody eat. Fix your own streets. Collectively. Put some of them young men that need something to do to work hooked up with them older men that hang around the neighborhood that know how to fix buildings and collectively fix up them houses down there. Make them livable again. It's a project. Let's see who can do the best job. Pool your resources to pay them collectively. Let them know that, hey, this is how we can do it, but this benefits our community. Not a community geographically speaking, but the community of righteousness. You feel me? We love you at the FD3 Music Club, and as always, Yahweh, your Elohim, loves you most. Me? You know I'm going to say it, right? I love you, Kim. Have a good night. Shabbat Shalom. Peace. One love.